Hey everyone, just got a first look here at a brand new GMRS radio. It's the Retevis RB86. This is specifically made for GMRS, and on the box it says it's IP67 rated, so that means it's intended to be waterproof. I'm going to run through really quick what comes in this kit. It was a kit specifically made by Retevis for 4x4 trucks, overlanding, that sort of activity. So it comes with the radio, coax cable, an antenna, and an antenna bracket. So it's pretty good size antenna. 5.2 dB, max power 100 watts. So it's more than rated for this radio. Pretty simple antenna bracket. And then this coax cable, which is a straight into the radio and then a 90-degree where your antenna connects. Definitely a thin looking cable, so I'm curious to see with the SWR, see if there's any losses as far as this cable goes. So we'll be doing a power test, and I'll do it with a jumper that should have no loss, and then I'll try to do it through this small coax cable as well and see if there's any difference in the power output. All right, so let's jump into what comes in the actual radio box. So these are all added accessories with the kit. So you can buy the radio alone, or they have a bunch of different bundles. So this is, like I said, the 4x4 bundle. There was other options for like a farm tractor, or different variations on their website. All right, so let's take a quick look in here. All right, so we have a programming cable and a disk for the programming software. And I think the software is only for Windows. Has a manual. There's a keypad microphone. And the microphone itself also says that it's IP67 rated, so the microphone should be waterproof as well. It looks like it has a 6-pin connector. Comes with a harness. The thing I did notice about this, which is kind of strange, is that it has a fuse. They're mini fuses. It has a fuse on both the positive and the negative side. A little bit strange. I've never seen that before. Don't think it will really affect anything, but see what else. Got your hardware, so it came with a couple extra fuses, hardware, microphone hook, pretty nice radio bracket. Here's the radio itself. So pretty nice compact radio. As I mentioned, this is intended to be IP67 rated for waterproof, so all the connections on the back, the microphone port, they all have caps and look to be pretty well sealed. I am a little bit curious to see how, say, the fan got wet or something like that, how it would hold up. And the other thing that I did notice is that this radio has a top firing speaker, where a lot of radios have, bottom firing or a front facing speaker. So, all right, the other thing I noticed too, got another fuse on here. All right, so I got this thing hooked up to a jumper pack for a power supply. Let's turn it on. So it shows you, you have A and B channel, right? So you can switch between A and B there. And when you change, here's a channel select knob. So basically you have channels 1 through 7. Those are 5 watts. Then it steps up to 15 through 22, and those are all 20 watts full power on this radio. And then the rest of those channels up to 30. So 23 to 30 are set repeater channels. Those can be modified in the software or the radio itself. I originally thought that these up and down arrows were for changing the channel, but it looked like they're actually for volume, which I thought might have been a little bit different. Typically you'd want to be able to switch between your channels, and maybe there's a way through the microphone you can do that. But then I got to thinking, if you're with a group of people, you're pretty much going to set your channel, and then there may be an instance where you need to change your volume up, so that actually might be more useful than I originally thought. The menu can be accessed by holding the button here right next to menu, and you need to toggle up and down using the up and down arrow on the microphone. And then once you get to the selection you want to make, you have to click OK on the radio. Again, toggle up or down with the microphone, select OK on the radio. So far, I haven't found a way that I can select on the handheld itself. You can go up and down and make your menu changes here. We actually have to click OK or back on the radio itself. Alright, so a couple features that I think will be useful. I did figure out that by pushing this CTTS button, you're able to toggle through the different codes. So when it looks like that, it's off. And then if you have it where it says DCS, you can hit the function and then hit the CTTS button again. You can toggle through the DCS codes. Alternatively, if you have it set to T and you also hit function, and then that you can toggle through the other codes. So that would be an easy way if somebody's looking to turn that off and just not use that at all. You'd just be able to toggle through that button to make sure it doesn't say anything there. Also, this low button, if you toggle through that, you can switch to low, medium, and high on those upper channels, which are channels 15 to 22. On channels 1 through 7, they're locked in at low. This button here, you can switch your AB, so you can have 2 channels selected here, and you can be toggling between the 2 of them. Other than that, I think that's pretty much the base functionality. Oh, one thing I did also figure out was that if we go into the menu by holding that, before I said you had to use these arrows on the microphone, you can actually turn the channel select knob and it will toggle through your menu options. And then you can hit, OK or back as necessary to go through your menu options and change. The one thing I am still trying to figure out is that there's a little N there next to the power level, and I assume that means that it's a narrow band. I have not figured out how to change that. The manual has a menu selection for bandwidth selection, but for some reason it is not in this radio. So if I go to radio settings, it's supposed to be in this list of settings, and nowhere is there a bandwidth selection. That would definitely be a feature people would be interested in, and I don't know if it's just like a firmware upgrade or something that's missing, but it is in the manual, and I don't see that option. But other than that, as far as typical functionality, I think you can get up and running pretty easily with this radio.